Response agencies trained today for one of the most high-pressure situations they may face, a plane crash. And while we hope this doesn't happen, as Charisma Robinson reminds us, that devastating 2010 Cessna crash, which killed 9 men, is a recent and firm reminder that emergency crews need to keep their response skills sharp.
The blood and wreckage of today's simulation were very real, and it had to be, to give emergency crews a real depiction of what an actual plane crash would be like. Big Bird Airline crash landed after experiencing a landing gear problem shortly after it took off from Lynden Pindling International Airport this morning. Emergency crews are on the ground.
Fire was involved. Some 84 souls were reported on board. We have now controlled the fire, declared the scene safe, and we are now doing rescue. We have moved out 22 walking wounded at this time, and we have 5 critical patients who are being treated at our advanced medical posts.
But not everyone survived the ill-fated flight. Crews also had to recover dead bodies from the impacted area, preparing them for the worst. Airport Authority Chief Fire Officer Samuel Clark says if the situation was real, emergency crews would have to execute LPIA's contingency plan.
These drills are not graded in percent. They just automatically test our plans, and wherever there is weaknesses, we seek to make improvements. From our past, always, again, we had a problem with improvement in communications. We're going to evaluate this year to see if our communication aspects have been improved, and if there are needs for further improvement on those, and then we'll take the necessary steps to do that.
Now, International Civil Aviation Organization regulations require all airports to establish an emergency plan. It also requires the plan to be tested by conducting a full-scale emergency exercise every 2 years. This is the 3rd time LPIA has conducted such an exercise, which was observed and assessed by local and international evaluators. Civil Aviation Director Patrick Roll says today's simulation was much better than those conducted in previous years, but there is still room for improvement. The initial response by emergency crews was slow.
If we look at the first one, to be honest, was a mess. We did it. We found that there was a lot of errors. We found that in certain areas we were not prepared. In most incidents like this, the major problem is communication, so we had to correct those. We had to ensure that all of the call list, everyone who was involved, were notified in proper time. So every time we do this, it improves.
Now, by tomorrow, officials will have a clearer picture on what has to be improved on following a full assessment by evaluators. Charisma Robinson, ZNS Network News.